Finland is again ranked as the happiest country in the world for the 9th year in a row. And anytime this headline hits, people wonder, why Finland? What do Finns do differently to live such a happy life like this?
I have been living here for 7 years, and my answer is not one big thing. It's small, quiet habits that Finnish culture nudge you towards sometimes without you even noticing. So today, to celebrate Finland ranking as the happiest country for the 9th year, I want to share 9 habits I have built while living here that have made my adult life generally happier and richer. Not just financially, but mentally, physically, and in ways I didn't expect. Whether you live in Finland and want to use this environment better, or you live abroad and just want more intentions in your everyday life, stay till the end, because the habit number 9 is the one that changed my mindset the most. So now, let's get into it.
So, habit number 1, set stronger boundaries with work. I want to start with this habit because it totally blew my mind when I started working in Finland. So I'm from Vietnam, and in Vietnamese working culture, the employer really expects you to give your whole life to work. I really mean it. So one of my friends told me that when she went to a conference for management, she heard from the managers sharing that if a young staff came and asked for day off, they don't want to work with this kind of staff anymore. And let that sink in for a second. But meanwhile, in Finland, I remember I was totally shocked when the CEO of my previous company took 6 months of parental leave off. 6 months, and he is the CEO of the company. I swear to God, in Vietnam, this would be in the headline of a newspaper. But in Finland, this is just so normal. Like, both parents should take care of the baby when they were small. And I also see my previous manager, who was the VP of marketing, also took like a month off for traveling. Nobody was panicking, nobody thought that it would be end of the world. And slowly, it made me realize that this should be how it's work. Like, a job is supposed to support you to live your life, not take your life away from you. And in the past few years, when living here in Finland, I learned how to set boundary with work. And now I oftentimes close my computer after exactly 8 hours of work. No emails at weekend, and every year I take about 2 to 3 weeks off to visit my family in Vietnam. Taking this day off didn't make me fall behind my work, but in fact, after taking a long break, I usually came back to work feeling much more energized, motivated, more creative, and I think it reduced the chance of having burned out for me, and therefore I have much better, healthier, and happier relationship with my work. I really have the thing called work-life balance here in Finland. So if you still feel really guilty for resting, especially take a break from work, then I really hope that this habit will find you one day. Because honestly, you should remember that your life is much more than your work. The second habit is go to sauna. I swear this is just so Finnish. But before I came to Finland, I used to think that sauna is like something super fancy that like you do once a while in a fancy hotel, you're wearing a fluffy robe and pay like 100 euros, something like that. But then I came to Finland and it wasn't the case at all. You can find sauna almost everywhere here in Finland, like sauna at the gym, in the office building, in a concert, or even somewhere in the middle of a lake. Like, literally, you can find sauna everywhere. And I know that sauna is deeply rooted in the Finnish cultures and also the daily life. And I also heard that in the past, women give birth in sauna too. And to some extent, sauna also holds some spiritual meanings. And after living here for 7 years, I really love sauna. And I try to go to sauna about once per week, usually on Friday night or at weekend, because it's a beautiful ritual for me. Like, hey, it's weekend time, it's time for relaxing. I really love sauna, and there's a lot of researchers proving the real health benefit from sauna. I could mention a few things like it supports with body recovery, with blood circulation, and for me, the most obvious thing is that sauna helps me a lot with reducing stress and enhance my sleep quality. It's beautiful to go to the warm, hot sauna with the steam from the rock, and it is just the best way to relax, which is something I feel like it's really hard to do it on a daily basis. So I'm so grateful that I have this habit after living in Finland. And if now you're living in Finland but you don't go to sauna that often, like I'm asking with my full sincerity, like what are you doing? Like why don't you go to sauna this often? It is such a beautiful habit that I really recommend you to try. Habit number 3, go out for a walk. I know this habit sounds like a little bit too simple to make it to the list, but this habit, I believe, it deserves more spotlight in our daily life here. So before I came to Finland, it wasn't natural for me to go out for a walk because I live in Hanoi. It was a very, very big city. And yeah, it was a bit polluted and there wasn't many walking paths on the street to really go outside. So I didn't have this habit before, but Finland makes it so easy to walk outdoor. It's so quick to go to the park and there's walking paths almost everywhere in the forest and even in a big or any small street. So since I moved to Finland, I was influenced by Finns to go out for a walk almost every day. I have the habit to go out usually after lunch or after dinner because it's amazing for my digestion. But nowadays when it's getting like spring is coming, I also have the habit to go out in the morning to get the first fresh air of the day. It is such a beautiful ritual to start my day. I absolutely love it. And also, I feel like the most change in my mental fog after the walk. I feel fresher, lighter, and you know, there's a lot of health benefit to a daily walk. Just 10 or 20 minutes a day going out for a walk. But this is such a great habit that I hope you will also adopt, no matter where you're living. So let's just talk about go out for a walk. It naturally brings me to the next habits I want to share with you. Spend more time in nature. I've never spent this much time in nature until I moved to Finland. There's something magical about Finnish culture that pulled me much closer to the nature. You know, I was a city girl. I live in a big city, vibrant, but now Finland had transformed me to a girl who really loved nature. If you ask me what my ideal life would be, it would be stay close to the forest or to the lake, go out for a walk every day, like go for a swim in the nature. That's what I love right now. So I think there's about like 2 reasons why the change happened in me since I moved to Finland. The first thing is that in Finland, nature is so accessible. It's literally a 10-minute walk from my house to be in the middle of this forest. And even if you live in a big city like Helsinki, you can get access to forest, which is about like 20 minutes drive. So it's just so close to you. Nature is within a city. The second reason it could be because it has been deeply rooted in the Finnish culture. That's a rich life. It's a kind of life that stays so close to nature. Like, I swear, most of the advertisement about like the idea of life here would be like a beautiful house in the middle of forest next to a lake that you can just like chill and relax. And I feel like it's beautiful. Now I love spend time in nature. The more I go camping, go hiking, the more I love it, especially without phone. And there's something so calm and peaceful about spending time in nature, and nature is really healing me. In Vietnamese, we have a saying that rừng vàng biển bạc. It means that the golden forest, the silver sea, and Finland has an extraordinary amount of this very precious resource within the country. And I believe that Finn understand that, Finn value that. They know how important nature is. They live in tune in it, they protect it, they spend a lot of time in nature. And in my opinion, that's a big factors that contribute to the happy life here in this country. Habit number 5, use public transport instead of owning a car. So in Finland, I don't have a car, and it's a choice that saved me a significant amount of money and a lot of unnecessary stresses in life. I think that in Vietnam, I would use taxis a lot, maybe motorbike, or even own a vehicle, because honestly, public transport in Vietnam is absolutely not the most convenient option. But in Finland, the public transport system is really good in my opinion. It's clean, on time, reliable, and there is generally no reason for me to own a car because the public transport system here is amazing, and it really caused me a headache to think of the cost of owning a car here in Finland, the loan or general purchase price you need to spend on first, and the insurance, the gas, and also the maintenance, the parking, especially in the city, it's even more expensive. Those things could add up to about like hundreds euros a month. But instead, right now, I use that amount of money in investment, the kind of money that's working for my future me, the kind of money that's growing instead of disappearing into parking meter. But if now you ask me like, did I sometimes wish I had a car if I need to go to somewhere very remotely? Then yes, honestly, I did wish like that. But looking at my current situation, that I am still young, and especially I have no kids, I want to use this window to build a financial security in the future. And the act of using public transport instead of owning a car is a great way for me to achieve that. So yeah, this is absolutely a habit that I have no regrets about that. Going to habit number 6, I want to talk about meal prep and home cooking. I feel this really strongly. So I want to say directly with you that if right now your money spent on eating out is more than your total grocery cost, then the bad news is that you are hurting your future financial plan badly. I am saying this directly to you because I really wish someone had told me about this earlier. Yes, I agree with you that eating out is so fun. It's like social. You meet new people, you find new places, and especially it's very convenient, especially if you have a busy life. But a big but that's if eating out is your default options, it adds up fast. So a few years ago, when I cared a little bit more about my future finance, I look at people around me and I realized that in Finland, it's so common to do meal prep. I even see like big families still do meal prep because it was a surprise to me. When I was in Finland, meal prep wasn't in my dictionary. I don't know if that's an option. My mom always cooked fresh meal, and of course it takes a lot of hours to prepare that. But then I see that many people, not just young people, also do meal prep. So I try to do the same, especially I cook at home, I do meal prep usually at weekend, and that changed everything. Like I spend much less, especially much less on eating out. I ate more balanced meal. I didn't have to make that tired decision at 7 p.m. every day to think like, oh my god, what am I gonna eat for dinner? Because my meal was ready. I cook already. And that also helped my mental space get clearer. Oh, okay. Anyway, I don't mean to tell you like, no, you never get out, because I still allow myself to eat out about 2 times per week. My motto in life is living a balanced life. Like you need to balance between saving your future, investing for future, and enjoying your moment right now. So going out to eat, meeting friends, doing social work, it was all the fun thing and joyful. I allow myself to do about 2 times per week, but not too many, because not to the point that's gonna hurt my plan. And you know, my foundation is home cooking, still meal prep, and this whole habit had better my relationship not only with food but also with money. So yeah, with my honest sharing, I hope that you would get into meal prep, or no, you don't have to start with meal prep if it feels like a bit too much. Then at least try to have the habit of cooking at home more than spending money on restaurant, because we're gonna do that in this economy. Habit number 7, track my spending and do budgeting. When I moved to Finland as a student, my parents sent me a lump sum of money that's enough for my personal spend for the whole year. So the pressure of keeping this amount of money for the whole year, not like burning it in a few weeks or months, was so painful for me. I don't know how to manage my finance when I was like 18 or 19 years old. So I have to start with the basic thing, is to track every single euro I spend in a way that I need to know where's my money goes so that I can adjust that kind of way. And over time, that simple habit grew from the basic tracking into the full financial planning and budgeting. Right now, I have the thing like category spending and limiting and budgeting. I also have saving goals, investment contributions, so kind of thing. And thanks to that, by 25 now, I achieved a few financial goals that I'm genuinely proud of. You know, it just because like I moved to Finland, I was forced to be more mindful with my spending. I started tracking, and now it's become a habit to me to track my spending, to set my financial goals. And the beautiful thing about this is that it's helped me be much more conscious about earning, spending, and I also feel like I have better relationship with money over the years. I could see the patterns of like where's my money is leaking the most, so what kind of decisions I need to make or what kind of shift I need to do to make sure that I'm not falling down from my financial plan. But frankly, I am not a big fan of living frugally because I don't think it's a happy life if you have to like restrict myself literally everything. Like I don't restrict myself too much. I'm not saying like I don't allow myself to buy anything, but it's more about like I know exactly where's my money goes, so I have a clearer understanding of my overall financial picture situation, so that it guides me to make smarter financial decisions in the long term. So yeah, I spend around 30 minutes every week for this habit, and it is super amazing for the future life that I'm building. And yes, I spend about 30 minutes per week to track my spending and planning in the future. It didn't take that long, but it had a huge impact and keep me on track with building the life that I want in the future. So yeah, if there's only one financial habit that you would remember from this video, then take this one. Well, if you're a bit tired with the thing related to finance, then we are moving to the 8th habit. It's mobile health, which is to measure the body composition. Wow. Honestly, before I came to Finland, I got no clue what body composition measurement is. Like, what is that? All I knew was you step on a scale and then it gives you a number, and this number is your weight. That's it, right? A few years ago when I worked for a Finnish company here, and we have the yearly health check-in, including a body composition measurement survey from Body Maya. Now it's called Pufti. So it was the first time I knew about this service, and during that body composition measurement, you're gonna step on a machine. It's called in-body machine. You put your hand in the handle, and then after a few minutes, it gives you the full results, and it was mind-blowing to me because it gave me so much more than just the weight. It showed me my total muscle mass, my fat percentage in different parts of my body. And yes, I didn't expect this though, and I didn't know that it was possible. So I can clearly see what was going on inside my body, not just like the number of weight, but I can see, for example, where I have the most muscle mass in my body, whether my left or right side was imbalanced, or if I have too much visceral fat. So I was super interested in this service. After that, I purchased it for myself, and I also convinced my boyfriend to join. And since that, I've been tracking my full body composition about once per month for 3 years already. Honestly, it really improved how I take care of my body and also how I approach like exercise or diet, because now I really understand what's going on with my body over time. This habit, I think, is a beautiful way to show you how Finns really cares about physical and also mental health, because this kind of body composition measurement is so accessible to everyone. You don't have to go to like a clinic or hospital to do this. There's a service for you to try, and it's really accessible. And I believe that in a country where physical and mental health matters, people are really intentional with the decision to make sure that they are living a truly happy life. Okay, number 9, the special one that I saved for the last. It is minimalism, simple life, simple mind. I am so grateful for the Finnish culture because it's reduced the urge in me to show up, to collect more, to constantly want more. Before I came here, like many people, I want more stuff. I want more clothes. I want a cabinet full of everything, because the more the better. That's what I thought that a successful, happy life should be, that you have more things. But living in Finland made me pause and ask, do I really need this? Or I just want it. Now I have fewer things. I have like just a few mugs. I have 1 or 2 lipstick. I have fuel. I have simpler routine, because I know that a simple life is a peaceful life. And I don't mean that I'm depriving myself. I still love cute things. I still treat myself on special occasions. Just living here is a beautiful lesson for me to understand the difference between what I want and what I truly need. When you have less stuff, you have less mental clutter, you have much less financial weight, and I love that it gives me more space physically and mentally for the things that truly matter to my life. If you live in Finland or you just visit here for a short time, I'm sure that you will see that the core value in the Finnish culture is simple life, simple mind, low expectation. I didn't buy in this concept at first when I moved to the country, but after 7 years, I slowly realized that this minimalism, the simple life, simple mindset, they are the true secrets to a happy life here in Finland. And let us sink in for a second.
Building my early adulthood life in Finland was truly fun and exhausting. I have to adapt, fail, try again, and slowly find routines that actually work for me. Finland now has been ranked the happiest country in the world for 9 years in a row, and I think I understand why now. It's not about having the most, but it's more about living well, with balance, with intention, with enough. And as a girl who grew up in one world and built her life in another, I feel lucky to have learned from both. Vietnam gave me the resilience and Finland taught me the balance.
So if any of this habit resonated with you, just let me know in the comment. And especially if you're also living in a foreign country, I'm generally interested in how the new environment has changed your life, have changed the way how you see things in life. So let me know in the comment. And thank you so much for spending time with me in this video. And as always, see you in my next video. Oh my god, I was distracted because there's a small, okay, now we're back. I want, wait, this is a bit, oh, okay, and, what as well? Suddenly I forgot. And okay, remove this part. Did you hear the bird chirping? It's so beautiful.